So we'll start with just the standard, any updates in terms of injuries or players return?
No, not really. We are kind of largely what we finished with from the game the other day. So some of the boys are getting a bit closer. George is getting a little bit closer. Dale's getting a little bit closer. So that's good news.
In the game the other day, Iheanacho scored his first goal for the club, and the reaction from his teammates, did that kind of speak volumes to not only his standing in the squad but also the atmosphere in the team at the moment?
Yeah, I've said it for some time, and I think it sums it up. The boys are close and they kind of care and support each other and want to all do well for each other in moments like that, and it just kind of shows you, and you can't just create that or fake that. That's genuine feeling. So I think that runs deep within the group, which is great to know, especially this time of the year when there's a lot on the line and we're trying to achieve things, and we're going to have to dig deep at certain moments and look after each other in certain moments, and definitely all pulling in that same direction, which is great.
In terms of the race for the playoffs, when you look at your fixtures, you're not actually playing any of your direct rivals in the next couple of games, or at all really, whereas compared to like West Brom who are, would you rather be in the position you are not playing anyone that you're going up against in the table, or would you, from your experience, rather play your opponents?
Honestly, it's just whatever you've been given, whether you prefer something or not, it doesn't really matter. At some point during the season you get to play everybody, and sometimes the timing of those games can be kind of, depending, you play someone when they're really strong, when they've had some injuries or whatever, it can chop and change, but as it is now, we know what's in front of us. We got the games left, we know who we're playing. Other teams will be playing other teams. For us, it really doesn't matter. We got to concentrate on our job. There's enough at stake for us to cope with.
Looking ahead to Blackburn then, they're kind of in the news not for great things at the moment. Is it a good time to play them, and what are your expectations?
No, certainly not a good time. And I mean, it's the next time. This is the time, and there's no way we're looking at other things outside this building really in terms of for a helping hand. I think we need to really look at ourselves and concentrate on ourselves and have all eyes on what we can do to perform, and what other things are going on in and around other clubs is not for us to worry about or think about. The game will take care of itself, whatever way it goes, however way it goes, and it's up to us to be at our best to be able to deal with that.
And just finally then, Samuel Illing Jr., he's been playing really well at left bank. Have you kind of struck gold there in terms of his new position?
No, it's not as new as you might think. Even when I spoke to him when he was coming, and it was something he spoke about, and it's something that he said he might end up becoming a left wing back really in terms of his career as it develops. So it's not really it's not as a surprise, if you like. I know the first game, in the first couple of games he played on the right, and he can play high on the right, he can play high on the left, but it's something he's done, and he's played for England in a similar position, maybe not as deep as a left back, but he's defended really well, and he's got natural attributes to do that. He's got a natural instinct to defend as well, so he's done fantastic for us.
Cheers, Michael.
I know Riley and Rav only played a few minutes, but all right.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, it's a little bit of obviously managing it, and but it's great to have them back. It's a big step for them both. They've had a little bit of training, but to be backing around at Rav got back on the pitch, so it's a good step for us. And as I already said, getting George hopefully back and Dale hopefully back, then we're starting to feel a bit stronger again.
But it's credit to Johnny and Neto really that you get Rav back, and you don't need to rush him in, even if he was fully fit for Friday. There's no guarantee he'd be in because of just how well Johnny and Neto have been playing there.
Yeah, they've just. I think there's a level of experience and composure with it as well, and not really any or they haven't had any level of kind of panic or rashness in the way they've played, and to a degree they've played that position before. Neto's played kind of tucked in a little bit more times throughout his career, and Johnny's played there enough for us over the years, even before I got here. So it's not totally new, but of course it felt like a new back four, and Trav not being here for too long, it felt like a new back five, and the boys have all coped with it really well. And I think as a team, as much as anything, in terms of the defensive responsibilities from the front and doing the job and making everyone's job that little bit less to do, maybe a little bit easier, but not saying it's easy, but you understand what I'm saying. I think everyone's sharing that responsibility, so we need to carry on.
I think it's probably the time of year we start asking about Johnny's contract and any extensions. Where are we at with that? Because I mean, he showed his importance, if nothing else, still, hasn't he, over the last few weeks?
Yeah, of course he has. There's nothing really to add at this stage on any of that. I think at the moment we're right in the thick of it, and we obviously had a few weeks where we wanted to get right back on track and put ourselves in the picture again. As it stands of now, that's where we're at. Other than that, we're pretty calm about things, and we'll see how the next few weeks develop and decisions will be made as that happens.
Has he indicated that he wants to play on at all, or do you just not have those?
To be honest, I've not really approached it massively with him and put it on him really. I think it was a case of it was quite a unique situation, like I said to you about him just saying I'm ready to play and from nowhere. And then that kind of taken preference really over the last few weeks, and so we'll see how it goes. We're all pretty calm about it. We all understand where we're at, so we'll be sensible and make the right decision.
For kind of 2/3 of the season, we've asked you questions and you've been criticised at times for maybe not being able to win games or not being able to find a way to win certain games when you've dominated in games or lost points in games. And it feels like in the last few weeks you've actually turned that round. Like at Luton, when it was difficult, you managed to get a point. Difficult first half of the weekend, but you turn it round and win. Just how important is that, and how have you done it?
Yeah, you do it in different ways. I think it's a huge quality to have, and in the end to kind of be successful in whatever way. I think it's something that you need as a team, and there's no getting away from that. And we spoke long enough about through the season and different situations we could have, maybe should have done better. So hopefully we've learned from it, the boys have learned from it, and that experience as well. Certainly some of the younger players and knowing what it feels like, and the expectation and the hope and the belief that we can win, and living up to that from ourselves as much as anything. And when it gets a little bit tighter and tougher in games, and I think we've shown some really good signs over recent weeks. And listen, the picture's going to change a little bit and adapt and evolve as we go for the next few games. But the boys are in a really good place. You can feel it. They're confident but grounded and ready for the big challenges coming up.
Is there a feeling within that you may be coming good at the right time, certainly in terms of results?
Yeah, there's a good feeling. I think we're conscious and careful. We're not getting carried away by and assuming everything now all of a sudden is going to be great. I think we've got to make that, and I've said that to you enough. Is when you're in a good kind of or on a good wave and a good bit of form or a good place. I think it's important that you try and keep that going in the right way, but you've got to keep pushing. And but it's coming from a good place. That as I said, the boys are largely playing pretty well, and the time of the year where you need to hit your stride and you need to find results and you need to win games, and that's the big challenge ahead. And
Blackburn, I know you say that it's a tough challenge kind of regardless of what's going on there, but on the run they're on and given kind of what's happening off the pitch there, if you can score first on Friday, clearly it's going to ramp the pressure up. Is that the message?
Yeah, I think it's an easy one to say every game. I think of we always try and pretty much every team up and down the line will talk about starting well, starting fast, try and get the first goal, and it's important. Of course it is. I think certain games maybe towards the end of the season as well, when it gets to this stage as well, you want to try and gain every little inch that you can within the game. So certainly from the start is important, but it's just as important, like I showed you the days, finishing games and whether that's players and changes and adapting as the game goes, but certainly managing the end of games, and whether we had to find a goal like the other day, or whether you're up and you got to manage the game and find a way to win. It's all of a sudden, because it's the time of year, it takes on a whole kind of new challenge, So, but yeah, going back to it, a bit of a longer answer. But yeah, going back to it, the start of the game is something we'll focus on, but not any more than probably we normally would.
And I know you might not obsess over the league table like we do, but the 2 points separating, I think, 5th and 8th, and then a 4-point gap to Watford and Blackburn, a couple of others. Is it 2 from 4, or are those chasing teams behind still in it, do you think?
Nah, I mean, we were written off probably by some not long ago, and the amount of games and the amount of points, it can turn so quickly, and 1 week to the next can look very different. So I think we are where we are, and we're right in there, and whatever that means ahead of us, whatever that means behind us, I think it's going to happen. We need to, the points that are on offer for us, we need to try and grab as many as we can, and then see where that takes us.